Suicide is one of the key issues being raised during Mental Health Week, and in sections of the construction industry, employers and unions are looking at ways to help those who may be at risk of taking their own lives. In some states, the suicide rate in the industry is 25% higher than Australia's average. A range of issues are reportedly contributing, including workplace bullying. But a new report has found that training workers to notice changes in behaviour on building sites is now making a difference. John Stewart reports.
These construction workers at Adelaide's Royal Hospital building site are being trained to notice when a colleague is struggling.
We quite often say all of these stresses are caused by a loss, whether it be a loss of money, relationships, your individual purpose. It's about a loss, and we all judge those losses very differently.
Australia's construction industry is 98% male. Traditionally, it's a workplace where many don't share their problems. A program called Mates in Construction is trying to change that.
We know that potentially men are not very good about seeking help, and so if they're struggling and they don't know who to talk to, or they haven't got a mate that says, come on, we can do this together, then they may not seek the help.
In Queensland and New South Wales, the suicide rate in the construction industry is up to 25% higher than the state average, and there are many factors.
There's a few problems. There's relationship issues, finances, law involved, drugs and alcohol, bullying behaviours are all huge in our industry.
There's no permanency within our industry. It's not like you're a public servant that once you join the public service you've got a job for life. With our industry, they go from job to job. And so when they've come in and completed their part of the work, then they may potentially be unemployed for in between jobs.
Researchers say that young apprentices aged between 15 and 24 are 10 times more likely to die from suicide than from an accident on a construction site. In April this year, Jesse Walker took his own life after becoming overwhelmed by a range of problems. Jesse followed his father into the South Australian construction industry.
There was a lot of people that he would confide in, and we've since found out that he's telling all of his friends little bits of the story, but nobody got the whole thing. Nobody got the whole picture.
Michael Walker says it's time for the industry to change.
I want people to look out for their mates. I want people to, to get involved in these programs. Take them to their work sites, take them to their factories or wherever they're working, and get that message out there to say that it is okay to talk about it. It is okay to talk about your feelings. If you can't talk about it with your family, with your friends, or with your mates at work, ring the Mates in Construction hotline.
Workers are now being trained to notice changes in behaviour on building sites and communicate with those who may not be coping. Contact officers are identified by stickers on their hat and can refer people to social workers and psychologists.
We do crisis intervention as well, so we do suicide interventions. And for my team alone, I know that this year alone, I know I've definitely had 3 people who are still alive today because they rang the 1300 number and came in and spoke to us. They were that serious. So I know it's making a difference.
A new report into suicide in the construction industry found the Mates in Construction program helped reduce the suicide rate in Queensland by 10% over 5 years. In South Australia, those running the education program say things are changing.
It was a silent generation. We didn't talk about our problems. It wasn't right to talk about our problems. The culture's changing where it's okay to talk about our problems and to go and seek some help. And actually ask your mates, are you okay?
The 24-hour Mates in Construction hotline for workers and their families is 1300 642 111 and operates 7 days a week. John Stewart, Lateline.
And if you or someone you know is struggling with mental illness, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14 or the Kids Helpline on 1800 55 1800. Both offer live counselling via their websites as well.